What's up, everybody? Welcome to Yacht Peaks. Almost said superhero chat. Um, Want to talk today about this anime that I've been watching. My buddy introduced me to it, called Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. It's really good. I don't not the biggest fan of the title. It's hard to say Frieren. But it's about this lady, this elf girl right here, Frieren, and her journeys after her big adventure quest, which is really interesting. And in a lot of ways, it kind of reminds me of some of the discussions that go on in the um, sci-fi uh, in the sci-fi genre, like Star Trek, stuff like that. In Star Trek, every series, there's a character who is trying to understand what it means to be human. And that's basically the main plot of this series. So, Frieren is a powerful elven mage. And she's also lived for, more than 1,000 years. I don't know her exact age, but it's a long time. But before this starts, in episode 1, you see, like, her past 10 years traveling with this hero group. She was one of 4 who went and took down the Demon King. And they start episode 1 with their return from that adventure. So they just saved the world, and now they're at the journey's end, if you will. So this is like the next life after, what it's like after being the heroes. And so she kind of wonders, or in that first episode, I'm trying not gonna spoil too much, but there will be spoilers in this eventually. So just to give an overview that doesn't have spoilers, the first episode, or as few spoilers that are important as can be. First episode takes place with over about 30 to 50 years. So we see the 10-year adventure, and then we see like the 30 to 50 years afterward, where all of the other heroes on that quest get really old and or die. And they live happily ever after. But because she is immortal, she doesn't get old or die. And so she's watching these people slowly get, age and then die. And but her character is that she is very disconnected with humanity because of her long life. Because she's been around for so long, she doesn't really connect well with people. And so she doesn't act human at all. She acts very cold and distant. But something happened on her on her adventure with this hero group, is that they connected with her in a way that she had never had before. And so the series kind of is her journey discovering what it means to have human connections. So it's really interesting. She ends up getting a young apprentice named Fern, I believe. And then she also picks up this guy named Stark, and he is a disciple of one of the other heroes, and they're kind of going on a journey of seemingly random intent. But as you progress, you start to see some of the purpose behind what's going on, and it's really interesting how like you have this discussion about what does it mean to be human, what does it mean to be mortal. There's one part that I really liked where she realizes that for her apprentice, who's this young girl, her apprentice sees time differently. So for Frieren, who's lived, more than 1,000 years, she thinks of like a 10-year journey as like a small amount of time, because she's lived for centuries. But for Fern, taking 5 to 10 years is a huge portion of her life. And so there's this comical clash with the immortal and the mortal, and I think that's really interesting. The way she discovers that, and the way she learns to communicate with people, and learns how to work or like start to care for other people. It's really interesting. It's kind of like caring for a flower that you know like is going to die in a few months. Like that's probably the best example I have. Like, you know that flower is going to die pretty soon, especially after it's been plucked. But you can still care for it and think highly of it. But for her, she's probably not going to remember every little flower because she's seen, hundreds of thousands of them, and it's hard to. It really takes a special one to really distinguish, and so there's only been like 9 episodes of the anime, but man, is it good! I love this discussion. Plus, they're doing a lot of world building. They're talking about what is the nature of the different creatures that are in the world. When you start to meet demons, you start to realize that they also have a very distinct kind of inhuman way of doing things. And so it's interesting. So I don't know how spoilery this will be, but eventually you find out that demons don't use language in the same way that humans do. Demons use language as a weapon. Namely, they will say whatever they want to. They don't have this ideal of truth. And so it's interesting because one of the key things that's important to human discussion is truth and communication. And so if you have somebody who doesn't care about truth and doesn't really care what they say, then you really end up with these inhuman, demonic people who only use speech as a weapon against people that they don't care about, or don't even see as human or as valuable. And so it's really interesting discussion going on there. And so with Frieren, you have this discussion of her trying to understand humans, and that you have this contrast with the demons who don't care anything about humans. And so she kind of brings herself down to the level of the mortal to try to understand what mortal life is like, whereas the demons don't do that. They're more than happy to just kill human life. Really fun series. It's I really enjoy some of the contrasts and discussions going on about what it means to be human through this like kind of humorous, very like charming, casual story. There is a good amount of action in there. You get a little bit of personal like character growth between these three. I will say, I feel like Fern has, like they try to, in the earlier episodes they made her very personable to be a contrast to Frieren, but in the later episodes she basically acts like Frieren, very cold and distant. So I don't know if they'll continue that, but I feel like it kind of takes away from uh, that contrast because it's. I realize that she's got like a troubled past, but because she's an orphan, but I feel like one of the things that really made it interesting is the contrast between these two ladies. Her, who's very distant from humanity, and her, who is very close to reality. And of course, he's, just your average Joe. Uh, and so, like, having the contrast between the mortals and the immortal, I think that's the really thing. So that's just a slight criticism. I still like the character. I just feel like sometimes they make her a little too stoic, and they really, I think, need to make her a little more human, more average, if that makes sense. I don't mind her being like really powerful as far as the magic goes, but I feel like her personality being softer works better. Now it could just be that she's just picked up a lot of stuff from Frieren, and that's possible. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but really love this show. If y'all, if you're interested, you can go check it out. I watch it on Crunchyroll. That might be the only app that does it. I don't know how anime does those kind of rights and whatever, but really great show. There's only like 9 episodes out right now. I think the 10th one will probably come out this weekend or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about one of my new favorite animes. So there you go. Not a long video, but really, really cool show. Let me know what you think if you've seen this. I'm curious to hear what y'all think about the discussion going on in the series about humanity and what it means to be human. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. If you enjoy this video, give us a like, and I will catch you next time. Peace.